The war, as always, could be reported in numbers. So many dead, so many wounded. But they weren't really numbers. They were people. And as the Americans pulled out, the victims were increasingly Vietnamese. Their pain was equivalent to our pain. A son or brother or friend lost in war. A pain for which there was no cure. Consider this report from Richard Threlkeld.
It happens every day. The South Vietnamese army tells the world press how the war is going. So many victories, so many wounded, so many dead. Facts and figures. But there is no way to measure how much this war has cost Vietnam in human suffering. In the funeral shops in Saigon these days, the wreaths are made of plastic. There are too many funerals and not enough flowers. No way to measure how much of South Vietnam's future has been lost on the battlefield. How many poets and politicians are among the corporals and sergeants and captains waiting to be buried? These days, in the cemeteries, there are too many coffins and not enough grave diggers. In a Saigon pagoda, the soul of Lieutenant Nguyen Van Phuc is committed to Buddha's eternal care. The war ended for Lieutenant Phuc 2 days ago along the Cambodian border in one of those nameless little battles that never make the headlines. He was 24 years old. Everyone is here, his family, his friends, his military comrades, the girl he was going to marry. In a way, Lieutenant Phuc was lucky. He was an officer, and his family is moderately wealthy, so he rates the best. He has his medals, the gifts of food and drink to sustain him in the afterlife, the tears of those who knew and loved him. And a military escort en route to the cemetery. After this is all over, Lieutenant Phuc's family will be compensated by the government. 1 year's salary, $500. A small price for a lifetime of memories. Memories that began in Hanoi in 1950. Nguyen Phuc's parents were killed in the war, so his uncle adopted him. There were 8 children, but Phuc was the favorite, happy and precocious. They moved to this house in Saigon when Phuc was 7. Phuc grew straight and tall. He was a Boy Scout, the pride of the family. There were weekends at the zoo, summers on the beach at Vung Tau. Phuc spent a lot of his time at the music stores with all the other teenagers. He loved music and played a good guitar. He and his pals buzzed around Saigon on their motorbikes, flirting with the girls. Happy, carefree days, and Phuc was the happiest, the most carefree of them all. Phuc graduated with honors from this high school. He was good in debate, a talented poet, and quite a ladies' man. He was going to the university, but the draft came along. Then the Tu Duc Military Academy, a reserve officer, his unit called up, an officer's commission in the elite Rangers, and finally called to combat. And then his family learned Nguyen Phuc was dead. The youngest son, Nam, is 18. He has just been drafted. A week ago, he says, Phuc wrote me and said he was coming home and we would play together as we did when we were young. Now, I must go take his place. So, Nguyen Van Phuc, poet, musician, soldier, is buried. In a few moments, the military escort will march away to another funeral, and Phuc's family will dry their tears and resume their lives. In Lieutenant Phuc's personal effects, there was a diary. In it, written in his own hand, was this passage from Ernest Hemingway's Farewell to Arms. Why are you afraid of the rain? I don't know. Tell me, don't make me. Tell me. All right, I am afraid of the rain because sometimes I see myself dead in it. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, in a cemetery near Saigon.